Hello guys and welcome. So this is my updated take on the Gamesir G7 controller. I've been using it a lot. Ignore the finger cheese. I need to clean it. So let's go over my pros and cons list that I've made for this controller. So as for pros, it's under $40. You can find it for $38 on Amazon, or you can find it for cheaper. I guess depends on sales. It comes with a 1 month subscriptions of Game Pass Ultimate, but make sure you turn off auto billing so it doesn't charge your card if you want to make the most of the Game Pass subscription. It doesn't drift because it has the Hall effect trigger joysticks in there, and it's customizable, which means you can take off the faceplate and you can swap out these thumbsticks caps, or whatever you call them, if you want to, because they came stock with the white ones. I didn't like the white ones, so I took these off an old Series X controller and I put them on, and I like these ones better. It feels way better on my thumb instead of that concave like dome feeling. I don't like that feeling, so that's mostly personal preference. But the customizability was a big thing for me. Uh, Next thing was it feels good in the hand. It feels like a normal Xbox One S controller. If you're used to that, the Series S controller kind of feels different because of this because of the bumpers right here. The bumpers are kind of different, so the layout's kind of different. I also did the same mod with the buttons on the back, but yeah, basically it feels like a One S controller. As for the mute button is also a function right here. When you plug a headset in, you can also click here to mute your mic. When you have it plugged in, it will glow red. You can also have software. You can customize this controller with software both on the Xbox and the PC, which is pretty good. But also, when it comes out of the box, it has terrible dead zones. It has a dead zone set way too high, and the controller kind of feels like disconnected, if that makes sense. Like you're pressing the stick and it feels like there's like a gap between like it registering your input before it registers. As for the cons, these are mostly personal cons or personal preference. It takes getting used to. So switching from my Series X controller, like when I would barely tap my trigger like this, it would pick up the slightest amount of movement. It's because it was using resistors. It's like a constant connection. But on this, it uses magnets to try to input the data. So before it can sense a magnetic field of that magnet, it would feel like I'm isolated. Like when I'll be putting a slight amount of movement, it doesn't feel like this controller where it's like super sensitive. Like I'll blow on it and I'll move. This is better, yes, for it not being able to drift because of the magnets being isolated, but that does take getting used to because that isolated feeling is kind of disorienting if you're coming from a controller like I did. It just felt kind of off at first, and you have to get used to it. So you have to like retrain your aim a little bit, play with it for like a week, and see if you like it or not. Dead zones are high out of the box. Like the dead zones were like cranked to like 10. So I had to like turn it down to 0 to make it more usable. And in games, I'll just put a dead zone up if I need it or not, or I just leave it on 0. As for the stock, I already mentioned the stop thumbsticks. They kind of suck ass in my opinion. I don't like how they like concave in the middle and then like they have the outside. It just doesn't feel right. It feels like a war crime. So I like these ones better. That comes with the Series X controller, because you can just rest your finger in there when you're playing. I already mentioned disconnected. Also, the back buttons. I had despised the back buttons on this thing. When they come with the stock buttons, they're so stiff. I don't know what it is. Those tactile switches are so stiff that I had to take it apart and put my own back buttons in there, which is 2 tactile keyboard switches, which is way better in my opinion. They're so much more responsive. I just didn't like how stiff it felt. I had to put on so much pressure just to press the button to cross, so I would not react faster. Excuse me. I wouldn't react faster in certain situations where I was getting like a ledge, like I'll miss a ledge because the buttons took too long to press or something. If I'm like jumping off a building by accident, So it comes in really handy when I have these buttons. I can press them multiple times until it grabs the ledge when I'm panicking. As for the menu buttons, yeah, this one was kind of weird. Like this orientation is different from this one. I guess why they did it because I didn't want to get sued for the Microsoft orientation. But I'm used to like this orientation, like when I'm take off my thumb off the joystick to like hit on any one of these videos. If I need to clip something or pause something, like I can do it without looking. This takes getting used to. Them having the buttons all the way up here, like they couldn't just put it like here and then here to make it like just one line. But yeah, this was kind of a weird orientation for me getting used to. And when I switch back to this controller, it would feel like I'll go to press the button like up here and I'll end up like, wait a minute, I'm on the wrong controller. So that's my updated thoughts on the controller. If you like the video, like it, share, comment, subscribe. And if you have any questions, let's leave them in the comment section and I'll try to answer them. Peace.